Good afternoon and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 162, and I'm continuing the story of the second calendar from 1001 Arabian Nights. Now, you might remember that he'd been turned into a monkey and had become the scribe and the scholar for the Sultan. And the Sultan was just absolutely amazed by the monkey's brilliance, its ability to write and communicate as best he could through a monkey's body, not being able to speak. His writing was exquisite, and the monkey was polite, well-versed in just the best of an upbringing. Educated, it seemed like. Brilliant. And the Sultan took a great liking to whatever the personality was inside this monkey. And he was so taken by the monkey that he wished to introduce this wonder of a being to his daughter, who he had named the Queen of Beauty because she was so incredibly beautiful. When the Sultan had her called into his presence with his main servant and another lesser servant, midget this other servant was, the princess entered the room and she took her veil and covered her face, which typically she would not do with her father. The Sultan was, "My sweet, why are you covering your face like this? This seems very out of place." And she turned to her father and said, "Father, I am sorry, but you are wrong in this case, for I must cover my face." "Why?" "Well, because this monkey that you think is a monkey is not a monkey at all, but a prince who has been enchanted by a genie, the son of the daughter of Abil." "How do you know this?" said the Sultan. "Father, the woman who you made as my nanny, the woman who brought me up, who you employed in your service, taught me many things besides the ones that you wanted her to teach me. If I wanted to right now, I could take your entire kingdom and place it in the middle of the sea. But one of the things that she taught me was to be able to see through the form of any being that's been enchanted, and also to understand who it was that did the enchantment." "My," said the Sultan, "I never knew that you had such knowledge and such powers. It's a great surprise to me." The princess responded, "Yes, there are many, many things more that I could surprise you with." The Sultan turned and looked at the princess. "Is there anything that you can do to change this being back into its proper form? Because I am completely taken by him. He's intelligent and has beautiful manners and a soft demeanor. I would like to implant him as my Grand Vizier, the one who has recently passed away." The princess said, "Yes, I can bring him back." "Then please, let us do so." The princess said, "Fine, I shall return in a moment." Well, she went to her chambers. As she did, she began to go over in her mind what it would take to free the prince of his enchantment. She knew that it would be difficult, challenging, for she would indeed have to confront this genie directly. When she got to her chamber, she went to a small dresser and pulled out a drawer, within which was a knife. And this knife had on it various Arabic symbols, both on the blade and the handle. Blade of steel, the handle was of bone. And she took this knife and returned to the Sultan's court. And there she asked the Sultan, the head servant, the midget, and the prince, who was now a monkey, to follow her. Well, they did, and they went down into a lower court. They was down some stairs and out and through garden, and then it was a court that was somewhat low in the ground. It had trees, fruit trees planted in it. It was beautifully landscaped and with a small canal of water running through it. There was some bare earth off to one side of the canal, and here she had the men seated around her, and she went to the middle of this bare patch of ground, and she took the knife and she scribed a circle. Within this circle, she wrote a number of words that were in Arabic. And then she began to chant. And she did one incantation after another, standing in the center of this circle that she had made. And all of the men looked on in wonder as to what was going to be happening next. Well, suddenly, the ground opened up within the circle itself, and out from the ground came an immense lion, which roared and opened his mouth wide. At this point in time, Scheherazade stopped the story, as we will as well, and we'll find out who this lion is in the next part of this story.